once again.
I want to talk to you about elbow pain. There's two main different types of elbow pain. Tennis elbow, which is typically going to be somewhere between your thumb and shoulder, right along this area, which is the large intestine meridian, according to Chinese medicine. And the other type of pain is along the pinky side edge of your elbow, and that is golfer's elbow. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with golf or tennis, but how you're using your muscles. The first thing that we want to work on is improving your range of motion. It may not look exactly like mine, and in fact, if you're in a lot of pain, it will probably not look like mine because right now I don't have elbow pain. But we're going to work on getting range of motion through the wrist as you're rotating through the wrist. You're getting range of motion through all of this muscle, and this is for the tennis elbow. And so you can work on flexing down. You can work on opening and closing the hand as you're flexing and extending through your wrist. And you can even do a rotation through your elbow like so, where it's like you're holding a tray and you're trying to keep everything else very stable and steady, and you're rotating just your elbow and wrist as much as you can. And then you can also go in the opposite direction. The best way to start to work into the range of motion for golfer's elbow is a nice tricep stretch, which might seem impossible right now because your triceps are probably so inflamed and tight. So I like to use one of these stretchy bands to allow me to get there. Once I have a good grip and everything's in alignment, everything is steady, my core is tight, I have a bend in my knees, my neck is straight, and my other arm is in a comfortable position. If you need to bring it further down for your other shoulder's sake, that's totally fine. And again, you might be here, and that's fine too. I'm just here because I don't have elbow pain. But wherever you're at, you basically just want to have a straight line between your two hands, and you want the rest of your body to be straight. You don't want your neck to be in a weird angle. You don't want to have yourself bending forward or back. You want to have a nice straight spine. So depending on how flexible your elbows are right now, which may not be very much, it might just be here that you're at, that's fine. If it's more like here, this is what it'll look like. From here, I'm going to pull with my right hand, the hand that's up high, I'm pulling the strap up, and I'm going to pull for 2 or 3 breaths. And on my left hand, on the other hand, I'm pulling away. So there's a lot of tension in the band right now. And I'm going to hold that for a few breaths, and then I'm going to let it go and see if I can go a little bit further into the stretch. And now I actually had to reset my band grip because I got a little more flexibility happening. And repeat that 2 or 3 times. Pushing, pulling, a couple of breaths, and then let it go. Once you've worked through your range of motion, the next step is to strengthen the muscles surrounding your elbows, your wrists, biceps, and triceps. So what I like to do is something called a reverse tabletop. You're going to be sitting on the ground with your fingers behind you, facing your body. Feet are shoulder width apart, and fingers are all the way down. There's a slight bend in your elbows. They're not locked out. Your shoulders are going down your back, so you're not going like this. They're going down the back. And try to put enough weight into your hands to where you can lift your bottom off the ground. And that might be enough for you for today, and that's totally fine. Eventually, you'll get to a point where you can lift your bottom, keeping that bend in the elbows, keeping your shoulders down, and eventually work your way all the way up. I still have a bend in my elbows, and then eventually you can even start to lean your neck back. Another thing that I like to do for golfer's elbow is something called child's pose or sometimes puppy pose. Similar idea. You can have your knees apart if that's comfortable, or together, however you like. And from here, just with a straight back, you're going to crawl your hands forward onto the ground. My tailbone is going in the opposite direction, so I'm stretching my tailbone behind me, and I'm stretching my arms in front of myself. I'm going to put the pinky side of my hands on the ground and kind of crawl myself forward. So I'm holding myself up with a straight back with my hands out in front of me. From here, I can lift and lower my arms with control, nice and slow, maybe about 3 to 5 times on each side. And then if that starts to seem too easy, you can do that on a chair or on yoga blocks in a slightly different way. And if you need to have a pillow under your knees or knee pads, I completely understand with that. In this version, you're going to have your legs at a 90-degree angle, and I'm also keeping my back straight. My tailbone is going in the opposite direction, and I have the pinky side of my hands down. And then from here, if you're able to slowly lift and lower your arms, you can try to do that a few times on each side. And let me know how that goes for you. If you have any other types of elbow pain, wrist pain, or joint pain, please visit us at the link below. And thanks for watching.